Heads up, this podcast contains some swearing.
Previously on Lost in Williamsburg.
Are you ready, Thomas?
I don't see how anyone could ever be ready for this.
I'm risking my life doing this.
Repent, Hexabeth. Repent while you still can.
Never! Never! Make sure she's dead!
Stop. I'm not going any farther with you. How could you do that to her, Thomas? How could you kill her?
Listen to me, Cecelia. I swear I didn't know the professor was going to kill her. But if someone hadn't stopped her, she would have destroyed the whole town.
I could have stopped her. I could have saved her. But you took that chance away from me, you bastard!
Cecelia, your mother, she was an abomination to God. And things she made me do, I will have to live with for the rest of my life.
Good! You deserve it!
Maybe so. But listen to me. Professor Jobriath and Sophia have paid with their lives.
Sophia?
Yes, Sophia. She helped the professor, and they've perished along with your mother. Let that be your revenge, please.
No, it's not fair. Why did you have to kill her? Why?
I don't know what to tell you, Cecelia. This wretched world is turning into something I don't even recognize anymore.
When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political...
We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union...
The question in her mind, and one not easily solved, now was, how can I get away?
The spectre is haunting Europe. The spectre of communism.
Friends and fellow citizens, I stand before you tonight under indictment for the alleged crime of having voted at the last presidential election.
At 4 o'clock this morning, Hitler attacked and invaded Russia.
I'm going to step off the limb now.
Sexual relations that would not have.
But I'm the decider.
Relations that would not have.
But I'm the decider.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. But I'm the decider. Yes, we can.
This is cacophony.
This is cacophony.
This is cacophony.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, I'm Caleb Souter, and you're listening to Cacophony, a friendly little show with a bit of music, a bit of chatting, and whatever else I can scrape together for the afternoon. Today, to get you psyched for the upcoming Halloween bash at the Equator, we've been listening to one of the bands that will be performing, Cats with Benefits. Now that we've heard them do a couple of songs, let's get to know the band members a bit better. Why don't you say hi, guys?
Hi.
Hi. Hi.
Hi. So, the first time I heard you guys play was at the Crumb at the beginning of the semester, and y'all really blew me away. I thought it was a fantastic show.
Thanks.
So, what would you guys like to tell our listeners about the band?
Okay, I guess I'll start. I'm Aaron Seeger, and I started Cats with Benefits about a year ago. I play lead guitar, and why don't I just introduce everyone? So Josh Ryder here, he plays keyboards.
Hello guys, thanks for listening to us this afternoon.
And Zeph Metcalf plays bass.
Hello there, people.
Zeph's not big on the public speaking.
Yeah, not so much.
And finally, we have the lovely Lauren Tasky on drums.
Aw, thanks Aaron.
Actually, let me just clarify. Everyone in the band is quite lovely.
Yes, that's our thing, our whole act really. We can't play, but we're lovely people.
Not true. I think you guys sound great together. How would you describe your sound?
Oh, I don't know. Alterna pop with
a bit of a retro sound.
Well, I would say we sound like if Tegan and Sarah had a baby with Hall and Oates, and the baby was kidnapped by James Mercer. That's sort of what we sound like.
Funny, that's pretty specific. And yet, it's exactly how I would have described your sound. And so, what brought you all together to form this?
Well, Aaron and I met as roommates in our freshman year, and it was weird that we had such similar taste in music. We messed around together. I mean, played together.
Oh, really?
Musically, that is. But we didn't really get serious about it until we hooked up with our drummer, Lauren. And then a little later, she brought Zeph along for the ride. They make an awesome rhythm section.
Well, it seems to have worked out really well, as my listeners have heard. What is the next song you're going to be performing for us?
It's a song I wrote called Lost in Williamsburg.
And this is our first public performance of the song, so it might be a bit rough still.
Great. Well, here you go, folks. The world premiere of Lost in Williamsburg by Cats with Benefits. Take it away.
Ready?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, I'm sending a message. Is anyone out there? You gotta help me escape. I'm lost in a sea of malicious crescendos. I'm trapped in a box with a maze. I'm lost in Williamsburg. Now that the fates have drawn the curtain aside, I see it's all been an elaborate charade. So take my advice before I vaporize. You should be very afraid. I'm lost in Williamsburg. I'm lost in Williamsburg. Now is the time we must take up arms, become revolutionaries. I'll tear a sword from the walls of the palace, and I'll steal a musket from thee. Am I just running in circles, chasing shadows, spinning round? Oh no, that can't be the problem, 'cause somebody already tore the windmill down. Gotta be honest, it's not looking good unless reinforcements arrive. So don't make a move until I give the word, or we'll be stuck here for the rest of our lives. I'm lost in Williamsburg. I'm lost in Williamsburg. I'm lost in Williamsburg.
All right. That was Cats with Benefits live in the WCWM studio performing Lost in Williamsburg. Now, I think that's a song that a lot of my listeners can relate to. Do you want to say anything about how you came up with it?
I guess I was just inspired by the fact that Williamsburg is a very strange place. At least to me.
I don't think it's just Aaron that feels that way.
Really? What do you find weird about it, Josh?
Well, on the one hand, you have all these people dressed up in period costumes walking around saying things like, "What do you call that magical little box? A phone?" But then there's this whole other vibe. I can't quite put my finger on it.
I think you just did.
Well, you know, I've lived here all my life, and I've definitely seen the darker and stranger side of Williamsburg. Actually, my great aunt used to do ghost tours back in the 70s.
She did? I've always wanted to go on one of those.
Yeah, she used to tell me that tour guides had one set of stories that they would tell the tourists, and a whole nother set that they would tell each other when they were all getting drunk at the Greenleaf after work.
Ooh, I bet they were scary.
Well, supposedly these stories were just too gruesome to tell to the tourists.
So anyway...
Hey, Caleb, can you tell us one of the stories?
Oh gosh, it's been so long. Let me see. Well, there was one that really creeped me out about a doctor over at the public hospital in the 1700s. And for any listeners who don't know what the public hospital was, it wasn't actually a hospital. It was more of a loony bin. Anyway, there was this doctor, a very sick, twisted doctor, whose name I don't remember. Perfect. Thanks for the sound effect, Josh.
Yeah, that's G minor Aug 9, one of the scariest chords around.
I'm getting goosebumps.
So this doctor, he had a bit of a problem on his hands. Some of the women inmates at the hospital would get pregnant from time to time, and it's not clear how this happened.
Let me explain it to you, Caleb.
Well, of course I know how it happened, but I wasn't supposed to. What with all the inmates being locked up and chained in their cells. Now, some people say that a couple of nurses would arrange special event nights involving satanic rituals and human sacrifices. Thanks again, Josh.
So, getting back to the band.
Oh, come on, Aaron, let him finish. This will get the listeners in the mood for the Halloween Bash at the Equator, October 31st.
Nice plug there. So I'll try to make this quick. What was the doctor going to do with all these inconvenient babies that kept popping up? No one in the town wanted a child that came from insane parents. It was bad luck, I guess. But conveniently for the doctor, the babies never seemed to survive more than a month or so. I mean, almost none of them.
But they weren't dying of natural causes, were they?
No. It turns out this doctor was determined to find some kind of cure for his mental patients. And what better way than by experimenting on fresh brains?
I don't like this doctor.
I know, right? Well, try as he might, the doctor was never really able to come up with any kind of treatment, but he did end up with one hell of a mess to clean up. So the story goes that somewhere near the hospital is a plot where he buried all his victims, 20 or 30 little children.
Ugh.
Now, this all seems to be working out well for the doctor until one winter night, when he went out to bury his most recent experiment.
And they rose out of their graves.
Lauren, let Caleb tell the story.
Sorry.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much what happened. My aunt tells the story much better.
I'm sorry. I just got a little excited. But in my defense, I could see that coming a mile away.
Yes, but did you know how the babies rose from their graves?
I have a theory.
Well, there was a witch involved.
Of course.
Who cast the resurrection spell. I think it went something like, I call on spirits to arise, open the door to the other side, bring the life back to the dead, and turn their blood from black to red. Or something like that. Anyway, you should talk to my aunt sometime. She's got loads of stories she could tell you.
You know, you should get her on the show to tell some of those stories for Halloween.
Now that's a great idea. If I did, would you put together a soundtrack?
Yeah, sure, it'd be fun.
So, Caleb, do we still have time for one more song?
I'm sorry, Aaron, we're out of time. But I'll have you guys back on again real soon.
That would be great.
Anytime.
Sure thing. So, folks, we spent this past hour listening to and talking with the local Williamsburg band, Cats with Benefits. I hope everyone has as much fun as we did. Now, just a reminder, the station will be down for fall break next week, but I'll be back on the air the following week. By the way, what are y'all doing for fall break? Lauren?
I'm going to Chapel Hill for my cousin's wedding.
Zeph?
Chapel Hill for her cousin's wedding.
Aaron?
I'm going to Emerald Island.
Josh?
And I will be staying in town to write music.
Really? I'll be here too. We should definitely get together and work with my aunt on the Halloween program.
Yeah, totally.
Alright, listeners, I'm out of here. Stay tuned for Flipnolica, coming up next with your host, DJ Flip. He's a little bit late, but I'm sure when he shows up, it'll be a great show. I'm Caleb Suter, and I'll see you back here in 2 weeks on Cacophony. And microphone off. So thanks again for coming, guys. And sorry for talking so much at the end.
Oh, that's okay. No problem.
Hey, Aaron. When did you and Jordan decide to go to Emerald Island? I thought you were going to drive down to Chapel Hill with us.
Yeah, I was looking forward to it.
I'm sorry, guys. Jordan got a call from some friends yesterday. They're renting a beach house down there, and somehow they talked her into going.
Did she say if anything was wrong?
No, she didn't say anything, but she's been pretty stressed out lately.
Huh. I should talk to her.
So anyway, Josh, I have a favor to ask. I'm meeting a professor downtown. Can you take care of my equipment for me? I'll owe you one.
I guess so. Go ahead. It's fine.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Good job, guys. I'll see you all later.
Bye.
Thanks for having us on, Caleb.
Sure, no problem. See you around.
Bye.
So, I guess I'll have to make 2 trips back to the dorm.
Man, you're such a pushover.
You know, guys, I actually need to get going too. Would y'all mind just locking the door when you leave the station?
What about the radio? Shouldn't you stay on the air until DJ Flip gets here?
Nah, it's college radio. A bit of dead air won't hurt anything.
Okay, well, I'll see you later. And give me a call. I'm totally up for that show with your aunt.
Yeah, definitely. Text me and we'll set up a time to work on it. See you guys around.
Bye. Thanks. Well, boys, we're finally alone in the station. Maybe we should take it over?
Yeah, I don't know. Do you have any idea how to work the controls?
Not really. So, Zeph, did you notice that Caleb was kind of into our keyboard player here?
Really? You think so?
Yeah. You didn't notice him checking you out? You need to text him and set something up.
Come on, Lauren. Josh can arrange his own hookups.
You gotta strike while the iron is hot.
Maybe you're right. I think I'll send him a text right now.
Yeah, do it. Do it.
Caleb, what are you up to tonight?
You've been listening to the audio drama Lost in Williamsburg. Tonight's episode was entitled Talk That Talk. Our cast included Mark Hutchens as Thomas Jefferson, Cassandra Glaspie as Cecelia Blackhard, Reed Perkins as Caleb Souter, Luke Hart-Moynihan as Aaron Seeger, Jacob Wilson as Josh Ryder, Daniel Turner as Zeph Metcalf, and Kat Turk as Lauren Tasky. Please join us again next time as the story continues.
You know, I could have my own show. Play some Glenn Miller or Peggy Lee. These kids need to be exposed to the classics.
I can't afford to spend money on fancy wood windows that are just going to rot away in a few years. What's wrong with vinyl?
I don't know if I'm up to spending 4 days in a beach house with 12 people.
This was the last privately owned house in the historic district.
I'm thinking about putting grad school off for a year or 2.
Lost in Williamsburg is produced, directed, written, and scored by Phillip Merritt. The sound effects used in this production were provided by freesound.org and LibriVox.org. Thank you for listening. I'm Caroline Corney. Good night and stay safe.